Hello everyone. Alright, we had some video trouble and we're gonna try this one more time. My name's Kevin.
And I'm Debbie.
And I wanted to get Debbie on camera because we wanted to kind of share a little bit of our story. We've been together. This is my one and only, my wife. We aren't legally married, but she is still my wife. That's just paperwork anyway, And we wanted to share a little bit of our story, and we might sum it up a little bit more shortly, make it a little bit more short than the first time, because the first time apparently the phone wasn't recording. So, anyway, we, uh, there's an age gap between us, and our aunt, hun, roughly, or tell me how old you are.
I'm 62.
62, and I am 42, and we've been together about 8 years, almost
8 years in February.
8 years in February. Ironically, right before Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So what's nice about that is that we can get both of them done in one shot. So it makes for like a bigger celebration instead of two small celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
And 8 years, that might be one definitely going all out for, don't you think? So we met almost 8 years ago, come February, and we met online in a Facebook depression support group. And all that, go ahead, Debbie, go ahead and my honey, tell you a little bit about that.
I had made a post in this depression group, and to start things out, I had lost my husband of 24 years due to alcoholism, and I was going through a very traumatic time in my life, and I had made a lot of mistakes after the death of my husband, and I kind of wanted to escape all reality, and I disappeared for about a month, and I probably upset a lot of people, but it was nothing against anybody that I, tried to hurt anybody. It was just my mind was not in the right frame of mind at that time due to the loss of my husband dying. And I left and I came back about a month later, and I turned myself into a psychiatric hospital to get my life together and get my mind right and healthy, and I did, and I came out, and I had joined that group and on Facebook for depression, and to share my story and hear other people's stories. And I had made a post one day stating that what I really wanted was to be able to share my life with somebody, and not for somebody to be a father or, to take care of me, but just to live life with and be happy. And I made a post, and you had responded to me in a private message.
Mm-hmm.
And we exchanged phone numbers, and we started talking on the phone pretty much every day for hours on end.
Right, yeah, and how long would we talk for?
Oh, all night long we'd be on the
Hours.
road because you would be on the road and we would be up all night on the phone and
Yeah. And being that at the time I was trucking, I could take home time within reason and anywhere within reason. And we eventually made plans for me to come out and see her. But before we get to that, when I had responded to Debbie's or sent her a message, because I remember thinking that if I'm gonna stand out, I wanna make it personal, and I wanna send her a personal message, send you a personal message, because if I would have commented like the other guys I saw, eventually you probably would have overlooked it. You know, a lot of women do, and so you want to really make something a little bit more personal. And I was interested in Debbie. 1 second. Our kitty. Come on, Oliver. Oh, Oliver was outside, and it's cold. So I had sent Debbie off a a personal a message, and she ended up giving me gave me your phone number, and
I was really, leery at first because I knew that you were a truck driver from your Facebook page, and I was scared because I didn't know, if things worked out, how I would be able to see you if you were going to be on the road all the time. And my ex-husband's dad was a truck driver, and it seemed like he was never home, so I was a little scared, but I felt there was something in me that felt like I needed to take that risk and that chance
right,
and possibly be able to meet you.
right, yeah, and so I ended up letting my dispatcher know that okay, I want to take home time. Come on, buddy. Oh, he's all wet. There's Oliver. Say hello, Oliver. Hello. Mwah. And so I let my dispatcher know that I was gonna take home time in Tennessee. And I've got a little bit of a hurtful past when it comes to relationships or women I've been with, and so I ended up getting cold feet, and I must have switched my home the location of my home time 2 or 3 times, and because I kept on getting cold feet about seeing you. And finally, I told my dispatcher, no, go ahead and send me out to Tennessee. Because Debbie and a friend of hers decided to, they talked and they decided, go ahead and try to get him to come, right? And so we met at a Pilot truck stop. It was probably one of the most nerve-wracking days in a while for me, I think for the both of us.
Very nervous.
Yeah, and I had showed up with a backpack I had bought, and it had all kinds of stuff I had bought for Debbie out over the road. And just random stuff I had been buying, and after 2 months of talking, I just wanted to show her that I was one of the better men out there. And I remember looking at her house on the GPS, and trying to time out how long it would take for her to drive from her place to the truck stop, and she was taking longer than what I had. you were taking longer than what I had calculated, and calculating, what I had in my mind, and I'm like, oh, she should be here by now. She should be here by now. But you finally showed up, and we started to get to know each other. I mean,
You stayed a week with me in Tennessee.
Was it a week?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then
one of the first things we did was there's a cemetery.
I don't think I got right back on the road with you though, did I? You went back out
for another 5 or 6 weeks. So, one of the first things that we did, that first day, wasn't it the first day, we went to Domino's and that cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
There's a cemetery over by her house, and we have 2 homes. This one we bought later on, actually the same year we got together. But at the time when we met, she had the one, and there's a cemetery over there that has a lot of historical graves. It's a southern, your typical, your southern cemetery. I shouldn't say typical. There's just a lot of Civil War soldiers and generals from the Civil War days, and through our conversations, you knew that I enjoyed history. And that day it happened to be windy, and you've got really bad allergies, and I think you knew that, right? And we still walked through that cemetery anyway.
The wind was blowing,
and your eyes were watering, and
tears running down my face, and
yep. And then sometime after that, the cemetery is practically across the street from the house, and we drove back to the house and had pizza and pretty much got to know each other.
Yeah.
And come morning, I had a huge smile on my face because I'm like, yep, this is it.
It's been a wonderful journey, I have to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Even with, which everybody has, ups and downs, and a lot of people didn't think we would make it.
No.
And I think there's still even people that still think that we won't make it, but
well, 8 years.
We're going strong. 8 years, and it's been a wonderful adventure. I have to say that.
And if we haven't failed by now, I don't know. We've had some of our ups and downs could have caused us to fail. But what kept things together was you and I. And there was many times in our life together that you were the very reason that we stayed together. Especially during, almost 6 years ago, I relapsed from alcohol. I was almost 3 years clean when I did.
Right, when we met, you were...
Well, I was over 2 years clean, sober, and I relapsed, and domestic violence wasn't involved, but I did some stuff around the house, and Debbie wasn't home, and it put me in jail. Charges were all dropped, thank God, because the judge put me on kind of off the record a year probation, and I really think that judge thought I would be back.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that seeing that, he hasn't been in trouble in this whole year, and really surprised her. But anyway, she signed some paperwork that dropped the charges against me because the state picked them up, or the city did. Anyway, that it'll be 6 years sober come, I think, March, maybe April. So we're getting close. But the thought of drinking just doesn't really enter my mind these days, you know, because last time you almost scared me. I could have lost you, honey, and our house that we had bought, and just wasn't good. So, but you know that
We didn't give up. I didn't give up on you.
you know,
You know, at first I thought my first response was, you know, I was hurt and I was angry, but I woke up the next day and felt like I just couldn't just walk away. I just couldn't. And I'm so happy that I didn't, and how far that you've come and we've come together has been close to a miracle.
oh, I know. And you know, since we've been together, the age difference really hasn't affected us any. I know some couples probably do struggle with that. I know our families, and there are certain relatives who have struggled with our age difference on both sides. But, you know, to us, that's never been a factor. And when we got together, you came to me and was very honest about two things. One, you couldn't have kids. And the second thing was your health. And so that means a lot to me. And I still took in all of that. And I'm still here. You know, and I feel like I have the best of both worlds. I get to be a grandfather because how many grandkids do we have?
7.
7 total. And 3 of them we're very close to. And so I get the joys of being a young grandfather without the responsibility of them being my own. And in this day and age, you all know how expensive it is to raise kids. So it's really been a joy. And our youngest granddaughter, Jada, she came into this world only knowing me as grandpa. So I feel like her and I have a little bit more of a special bond because she knows me and then her dad's dad.
Yeah.
And so to me that's pretty powerful. The other two though, they call me grandpa too, but they're growing up, they're starting to be teenagers, and they kind of want to do their own thing, but the one is very attached to her grandma. She's the middle child, and one day down the road we might do a video of them. That's undecided right now. I really haven't talked about that, but they're all precious. The other 4, well, I've never met 2 of them. Then we've got 2 that also live in Alabama, and they're very precious too. We aren't as close with the other 4 though.
We don't get to see them as much.
Yeah, and that's hard. That's very hard at times, but we still try to spoil them the best we can around the holidays, and Debbie does really good about doing stuff around birthdays. So But guess that's about it. It's the story of us, and there's a lot of things we could probably tell you about the story of us, and in due time, just a lot of information there. But what's important is that we're still going strong. One thing that I would like to share though is that our spiritual paths were very similar, along with a lot of things. We had so much in common. And Debbie, I'll let you tell about your chosen spiritual path.
Well, I don't know if I really want to
Disclose that.
disclose exactly my spiritual path, but it's very personal to me, so I'll just keep it at that for right now.
Fair enough.
But
Fair enough.
when I realized that you were also spiritual, that really connected with me, and
Yeah. We had a lot in common when it came to that. But
the key is just good communication. Never give up. Keep talking to one another.
yeah,
And I think that's the key to a good relationship. Talk it out.
yeah.
Don't give up.
And from a guy's perspective, I used to be this way in my younger years. The light's going bright all by itself. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but this home has some weird things that we've experienced. We'll have to do a whole video on that some other time, maybe
Yeah,
next
that's
weekend.
a whole nother.
But when it, you really gotta listen to your partner and stop thinking, about yourself. And since we've been together, Debbie has always been my number one. And I've had my selfish moments when it comes to our relationship, but because I'm not perfect. But you've been really good about reminding me that wait a second, this is what I want, and I think that's very important when you communicate and listen to each other.
Definitely. And I have to say, you can't let other people's judgment either get in the way of your relationship. And you have to do what makes you happy and feels good for you. And for the people that just can't accept, who you are or what you are or what we're about as a couple, you have to get past that and just focus on each other as, a couple, and just learn to listen and love one another, basically, and not worry about what other people think, whether, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Our age gap, 20 years, is, yes, it's a big age gap, but it works for us. And, it might not work for others, but it does for us. Whether who likes it or who doesn't like it or thinks that we're wrong,
Right.
I think that age is really just a number, and it's really about how you feel inside about yourself, and if you feel good about yourself, and you keep yourself healthy and try to keep active and mind, body, soul.
Right.
So that's about all I have to say right now.
Alright. Well, we're going to wrap this up.
Thank you for joining us tonight, and hope to join us again for more.
Yeah, and I hope you all stayed until the very end. How long? 25 minutes. So, namaste. Peace and blessings from our home to yours. Bye.